My name is Brandi Battle. Let me tell y'all a story. Let me tell you who Brandi Battle-Brown is. I was born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. You all probably know me as Miss B from Miss B's Juice Bar. I come from a long line of entrepreneurs. I opened my first juice bar in 2020, and the things that led me to opening my own juice bar. I had a health scare in 2016 when I had my daughter. I was really sick. I was going through postpartum and other things at that time. Alice Freeman, my godmother, helped me out through the situation. She pretty much nursed me back to health. She gave me different plant-based items to eat, different smoothies, a host of different holistic foods to kind of like get my body back together. After staying with my godmother for maybe a week or so and just going through all her practices of pretty much getting myself nursed back, eating properly, getting a proper rest, eating vegetables and juicing, I pretty much stuck with it because I felt a lot better. I came home, I started juicing at home 3 times a day, doing plant-based food, organic food, different things that would kind of like get my body geared back up naturally versus taking a lot of medicine for ailments that I had. I kind of pretty much went live on Facebook one day, just juicing, doing wellness shots, and I got a little following from it. But most of all, people could see the difference in my skin. They could see the difference in my skin. They could see the difference in my body. I lost a lot of weight while I was juicing. So after that, I had a couple of people say, hey, can you press me a juice? So I never thought anything of it. I pressed a couple of juices for friends and family. The potential that it had, I did not know. I think I want to open a juice bar. So the passion about me juicing has a lot to do with the things that I've went through. And after seeing what a holistic lifestyle or just eating healthy can do for you, I wanted to share that with my community. We have so many people that go through so many ailments that can be prevented just by pretty much eating right. We all like to eat crazy sometimes, even I do myself. But I think just the mere fact that you can eat good food and it tastes good and it also can do justice to your body in the long term will help people out a lot. So with that being said, what I did was after I created a lifestyle for myself of pretty much eating healthy and going on a healthy regimen, I wanted to share my passion with the world. So at that time, I decided, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to open a juice bar. I'm going to give the people something they don't have here in Richmond, Virginia. At the time when I opened my juice bar, I believe we had maybe 1 or 2 juice bars in Richmond. We had Pit and Peel and maybe like another fancy juice bar chain. But it's nothing like a mom and pop. I know y'all know that. So I wanted to create a mom and pop for people to come to feel comfortable, to ask me questions, to say, hey, look, I'm going through this. What can I do to help me in this situation? And so that's what I created. I created something to help my community. One of the biggest things I wanted to do was choose a location that could benefit from it the most. And so I chose a location that was a food desert. A food desert is a place that does not have food resources for people in need. And so my choice was Brooklyn Park Boulevard at the time. I got up one morning with my mom. We did a pop-up shop at Boho Studios, which is located on Brooklyn Park Boulevard. And after walking Brooklyn Park that day and walking around with my mom, I could see that that area had a lot of potential. I'm also a real estate agent too, and I have been for about 20 years now. So I do know that the location for anything is very important. So I chose Brooklyn Park for my location. There were several buildings in the Brooklyn Park area that I could have put my juice bar, and I took a picture of one building and one building only, and I placed that picture on my vision board. Vision is very, very big for me. If you think it, you ink it. Whatever you think about, you need to write it down because those are the tools and the ideas that's going to take you very far in life. So after I chose that location, which was on Brooklyn Park Boulevard, I did a little bit more research. Me and my mom sat down and came up with an action plan on how would I get funded, what resources would I use in the city, and created a business plan. Business plans are very, very, very important for any business that you're doing because you have to have a plan of what you're going to do, where it's going to be, how much you're going to bring in, what are the other people around it that can be your competitors. So a business plan is very important in life, with anything, even with a man, if you ask me. Um, Other than that, after we put the business plan together and I figured out where I wanted to be, I would say my next step is actually executing that area. The actual building that I chose to put Mrs. B's in, I didn't get the first time. I experienced problems with the building and the location. I was very upset about that. And when I went home that day and looked at my vision board, the building that I was trying to acquire for my juice bar was not even on my vision board. The vision board had the location that I opened Mrs. B's juice bar up in 2020, which is 114 West Brooklyn Park Boulevard. After carefully doing my research and after I got in the building, maybe a year or so, I realized that the building that I wanted, the sun ain't even shine on that side of the street. So how am I have a juice bar with no sunshine? So that right there was the Lord. That was guidance, preparation, and my elders guiding me to where they wanted me to be. So sometimes it's not always what you want it to be. It's where you want to be. It's where God will put you. So again, it sounds sweet and everything I did. If you know my background, you know my history, but there have been trials and tribulations of my situation and gaining to the ongoing success that I have right now today. I would say in 2020, when I opened a juice bar, no, let me back up. I'm going to say in 2018, when I knew I wanted to open a juice bar, created a business plan for the juice bar, signed a lease in 2019 for a juice bar that didn't open in 2020. Everything that I do is based on the Lord leading me and it's based on vision. It's based on vision. I had a vision. I couldn't sleep. My vision was so big. And I believe that once my mind is set on something, I can achieve it. I can achieve anything that I put my mind to. I signed my lease in I signed my lease in March of 2019. The landlord gave me 90 days. I'm going to say 120 days. He gave me 120 days to build out this juice bar on Brooklyn Park Boulevard. Mind you, I signed the lease, I said with a vision. I ain't say I signed a lease with no damn money. I signed a lease. I signed a 5-year lease with a vision. And with that being said, after my 120 days was up, I still hadn't had all the money that I needed to actually open a business and bring money in. It was a lot of formalities I had to go through, issues with the city, issues with building my bar out, issues with the fixtures, issues with appliances, things of that nature. And I was just determined to open me a juice bar. I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I was certain that it would happen. Again, I signed a lease with a vision. To be honest with you, I probably had about maybe $1,500 to my name at that time. I'm a new mother, so I'm not working. I have 2 other children, so I'm juggling. I got a house note to pay, so I'm juggling. You know what I mean? Like it's a real life juggle, struggle, but I'm a hustler, number one. So what I did was I went back to real estate. I've been a real estate agent, I say, for 20 years, and I found something that would bring me money faster than somebody getting a house built. I was introduced to wholesaling at that time from a young man that was in Northern Virginia. And when I say I ran around this city, I actually acquired maybe 6 or 7 properties that I did wholesale deals on the last 6 months of that year. So that was me taking all my money from doing wholesaling, providing for my household, and putting it in a vision that I had. A lot of people didn't believe in me. A lot of people thought it was, oh, you want all the juice bar, okay, you know what I mean? But I believed in myself. That was the most important part of it all. I believed in me. I opened up a savings account and I started taking 40% of the proceeds for all my wholesales. And I started taking the other 60% for my household, for my kids' tuition, for school, for me a car, and things of that nature. I didn't even have a car then. I was riding somebody else's car doing wholesales. I was using my mama's car at the time. But I had a vision, and it was very important in me that I stick and stay to the course. You have to stay the course with anything you do. I stayed the course. I acquired over $170,000 doing wholesales in the last 6 or 7 months out the year. And I took the majority of that, which was close to 80,000, and I continued my vision. And I opened my juice bar in 2020. And what I'm telling you is I paid rent at that space for 9 months when it was a shell because I had a vision. So it's not always been ups, it's been lows. I do have a great support system. My mom is here to support me. My husband at the time was here to support me as well. So I've had a great support system, Alice Freeman and friends and family. But at the end of the day, when you're chasing your dreams, nobody can see your vision like you can see it. Nobody's going to work as hard as you. Nobody's going to put that time in like you did. And I put the time in. I put the work in. And I made it something that is so phenomenal here today, 5 years later, that I surprise myself sometimes. But what I want y'all to get out of this part right here, if you believe in yourself and you write it down and you keep trying and you keep pushing, it will come. But you gotta be firm, you gotta be steady, you gotta be disciplined. And I was all of those things. And that's how we got Mrs. B's Juice Bar.
Brandi, it was such a blessing coming to see you today and to really, in all honesty, to watch the hand of God upon you. And I know goodness and mercy is going to follow you all the days of your life, as long as you remember what you're called to do, and that's to love people through food. And it's a beautiful thing. And I pray that everything that God allows your hands to touch, that it will prosper and grow and grow. I was telling your mother my heart was just fluttering to witness the miraculous of God. It is a blessing, Brandi, and I know God is with you. I love you, and I am so proud